So guys, got my work cut out today. Wife's took kids out for the day, school holidays. Going up to the lake probably. And I've got to fix this. Now, it is a little bit rusty and it's not very thick, so I'm not going to weld it. I'm going to use that pipe clamp tool, the hose clamp tool. If I'm using galvanised, which I will be, I'll make sure I should shut it at the bottom. And at the top I'll put a bit of clear coat on it so that it doesn't mark clothes or out like that. Not that I've got any nice clothes to mark, but somebody might have. And I've got another job. I'll show you that's when it's done. I'm going to get on with this, put in the supports round. I had a slight change of plan. I was going to go all the way around, but I'm not. I'm only going to come from here to the matching part on the other side so that we've got shade from sun when it's in summer, because I want to have the sweet peas and that up here. Eventually I want to have a couple of grapevines. I want some sweet grapes, dessert grapes, excuse the mess. And again, I'm not going to be filming while I'm doing it. I'm just going to get it done and I'll explain, and you can tell me what you think. I've left that. I'm going to cut it to a height and put some tops on it, as I might leave one higher for a lamp, candle lamp or something, and then other one I'm going to try and find a piece of something nice to make like a tabletop, as like a coffee table size height. And there on the way to the new home, there's some broccoli, some cauliflower and cabbage there for Grossvater. Although I've planted both types of these myself in garden. These came out of the cauliflower seeds. I've got two different leaf shapes, so it'll be interesting to see what we get done. Oh, now that lot's gone, I've got to get all these potted up. Two types of red cabbage, another cabbage, and you tell me, Swiss chard. And they're all spares from the same sort of thing, so if the mole cricket eats mine, I will have some. I've been working on that. I've probably spent about 3 days, but about a day's work. I had some issues with it. One of them being my welder's helmet wasn't working, so I did some blind man welding and managed to get welder's suntan on my forehead until I went out and bought a new welder and new welding rods, because the welding rods I had were, well, must be 5 years old. They were not sealed, but they were in a sealed tube, or I thought it was sealed, but they'd gone off. So there's some of the worst welding in the world on that. But this sort of thing I'm going to be doing with it, but it's going to be every other one. And then the ones that are being filled, I'm going to do with natural branches, although I'll put a little frame round. But I'm having to cut all this myself. This is just latwood. It doesn't matter that it won't last a million years, because obviously I'm going to have stuff growing up it that'll be permanent. And I've got at least one candidate, and I'll show you what that is. Here's an option to grow up that seating area. That's a sucker from this plum. I was thinking of putting a pot round it, seeing would he do that, and get this to root and cut it off. And that's grown in a year, so it's fast growing, because that weren't there last year. In fact, I cut two off over there last year, so that might be an option to grow up that. It'll grow fast and give plums and support as well. And I'm also thinking doing the same with some hazel. I've seen would he do that with hazel trees. It's cob nuts, so could have an hazel on it and a plum, and then flowers and whatever else. But this year it's having sweet peas up it. But yeah, I might have to get some. This is all rebar. This is also rebar in here, but I didn't want to leave it as rebar just because it's dirty, you know, even painted. So, but I might end up having to put that kills in there because it's shape. I went over off, you see, because I were hoping that I'd actually give it some more support. There's quite a lot of racking in it. But what I'm going to probably do, or what I can do, well, I've got several options. First I'll say, I'll get some 20mm box section or 15mm box section and just build a box section up there and bolt it down. that'll stick a lot of that wrecking out and get a bit more support up there, because I don't want to put a post in it. And other alternative or other choice, and what I might also do anyway, is run some corner to corner wires and then just tighten them up, and that'll stop any wrecking. These I've got to all paint. I've got to cut them and paint them. I've thought of an idea how to paint them. Next week we're going to have some rain, so I've got a little device what I want to make painting them a lot easier. Everyone will be built practically custom. They are all the same size, but there is a little bit of difference. So what I'll do is I'll pin them all in like that, wrap them after they're painted, and put a nail in there, and then have 2 pieces of this on the side and screw through them, and that'll do for what they are. But like I say, that one will be the mesh, and then I'll have natural branches going into the next one. Just put a frame on it like that, and same over the top, but alternate. So that mesh will be on this roof, and natural branches will be on that roof, in theory. Yeah, it was a bit of fun doing that. Not welding upside down and all, unreal. The only little welding mask I had were just from handheld jobs, and yeah, that's no good. You need 2 hands to weld, and to weld all that stupid mask. So I got, well, that arm's not so bad. That arm I've got some welders sunburning on my forehead, but I'll live. I've looked at grapes. They're $40 a plant. Still, we might get grapes. I'll just pull that stuff off now, just to so that won't be touching that probably till, well, depending on weather and depending on weather. But I want to get my plants sorted before I finish that. That's more important to me. I'll show you what I've got planted. Oh yes. Just been spreading some compost on these. These have all had 40 litres each. So let's see what I've got left. I've put 60 litres aside in another tub for seed starting, because of that seed starter is so rubbish. All that soil I've got was so rubbish. I've got to have enough for them, but I've got that other crappy stuff which I don't mind using as a mulch. That's the only bed I've had to really do much work on. That were absolutely full of weeds. That were the only one that got no mulch last year. It might have had some of my own compost that had some of that stuff in, but there you go. What I've got here, I've got greyhound cabbage, cauliflower potentially. They're supposed to be above cauliflower. Broccoli and the purple cauliflower, or purple broccoli. I thought it was purple broccoli, but it's purple cauliflower. And just in between, I've got radishes as a catch crop. I've got plenty of space at the minute, but this year that's going to be my corn, that's going to be my beans, and I've got to look what other stuff. I've got some more seeds to plant. I just had to get these in. I was working on that thing, but that's on sitting area, but I needed to get this stuff in. And tomorrow I promised to work on that moped with my son, so that'll be a day I won't be doing out in here. But then I've just got to I've got to get a load of other stuff planted, like I say, cucumbers and stuff. I might get on with that tonight, see how we go. But I ain't got much room in grow room at the moment. And there you go. Oh, I'll show you that chair that I fixed. And that's that fix with that pipe clamp. So that's 2 uses. It's not pipes, not clamping hoses to pipes. It's absolutely solid, and I just put a bit of clear paint on them, just so they don't mark trousers and stuff. My wife won't be happy if she comes back with marks on. Seems my neighbour's ducks have escaped. One on one side of the fence and one on the other side of the fence. They don't belong to this neighbour, they belong to that neighbour. My boy's just going round to tell them. And after seeing them ducks in next door's garden, I had to catch them, because after I showed that bit of film I had to catch them and throw them back over. It struck me what I was going to do with this stick. I'd cut it the other day and took top off it a bit, but that's got to be a duck, hasn't it? I'll probably just take it to the bandsaw and bring it down there and across there, and that'll be a duck's head. So thank you, ducks. Although they were a pain to catch. I'll get them with it. And there you go. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Don't forget, it's always nice to be nice.